I'm Wagner Barboza, AI engineer. Today, I want to talk about a release that just happened. This Tuesday, Anthropic just launched Claude Sonnet 5. And this isn't just another version bump, it's the most agentic model the Sonnet line has ever had. And I'm going to show you exactly why, with numbers, with pricing, and with what this actually means for anyone building AI products. First, some context. Inside the Claude universe, there are three tiers: Haiku, the light and fast model; Sonnet, the balance between cost and intelligence; and Opus, the top tier for long, complex tasks. Sonnet has always been the workhorse, the model most developers reach for day to day. Sonnet 5 replaces Sonnet 4.6, which launched back in February. And Anthropic's pitch here is clear: close the gap between Sonnet and Opus. According to the company itself, Sonnet 5 delivers performance close to Opus 4.8, the most capable publicly available model today, but at a much lower price. Now, what does more agentic actually mean in practice? It means the model plans, uses tools like browsers and terminals, and runs autonomously at a level that, just a few months ago, required much larger and much more expensive models. And here's the detail that stood out most to me as an engineer. Testers reported that Sonnet 5 finishes complex tasks all the way through. In situations where previous Sonnet versions would have stopped halfway. There's a real example from Zapier. They gave the model a two-part job: update Salesforce account tiers, then send a launch announcement to enterprise contacts. The model finished the entire flow, end to end, without stalling in the middle. That simply didn't happen before. Another point, the model checks its own output without anyone asking it to. There's a reported case where someone asked Sonnet 5 to investigate a bug, and unprompted, it wrote a test that reproduced the issue, implemented the fix, and then temporarily reverted the fix just to confirm the bug came back without it. That's senior engineer behavior, not chatbot behavior. On agentic coding benchmarks, Sonnet 5 scored 63.2% compared to 58.1% for Sonnet 4.6, a real improvement. And on knowledge work tasks, it actually slightly outperforms Opus 4.8 on some evaluations. Opus still leads on tasks that demand the highest level of precision, but the gap got a lot smaller than it used to be. And here's why this matters for anyone deciding on product architecture: price. Sonnet 5 ships with introductory launch pricing, $2 per million input tokens, $10 per million output tokens, valid through August 31st. After that, it moves to the standard Sonnet pricing of $3 and $15. In other words, until August, you pay a third less than you paid on Sonnet 4.6 for a model that's strictly better. And once August ends, the price matches the old one, so there's no longer any reason to keep a new project on 4.6. For comparison, that makes Sonnet 5 cheaper than Opus 4.8, cheaper than OpenAI's GPT 5.5, and cheaper than Google's Gemini 3.1 Pro. It only loses on price to Gemini 3.5 Flash, which is a lighter weight category of model. One point that often gets overlooked in these releases, but that I consider essential: safety in agentic contexts. Anthropic reported that Sonnet 5 shows a lower rate of undesirable behaviors than 4.6D, less hallucination, less sycophancy, and stronger resistance to prompt injection attacks, which is when someone tries to manipulate the model through the content it's processing. For anyone building agents that ingest data from external sources, that's real protection. Worth noting too, the model was not deliberately trained for cybersecurity tasks and has a much more limited ability in that area than Anthropic's own Opus models. As of today, Sonnet 5 is already the default model for free and pro plan users on Claude. It's also available via the API on the Claude platform. To sum it up from someone who works with this every day, Sonnet 5 isn't just an incremental update. It's Anthropic saying that autonomy is now accessible. For anyone building products, agents, and automations with AI, that changes the math. Literally. I'm Wagner Barboza, AI engineer. And that was the full picture on Claude Sonnet 5. Follow for the engineer's view, not the hype.